Roasties, welcome back. We're up to round 7 of the NRL. I'm your host, with the most, the roast. But opposite me is a guy that is standing out. The lid's off. He's up and about, and that is handsome Hammy G. After an Easter Monday miracle, with the Tigers getting up over the Eels in what was one of the games of the round, I thought. But
yeah,
I'll let him speak all about it, how good it was. Handsome Hammy, how are you, mate?
Roasty, I'm so good. Just when I thought things couldn't get any better with that big win, thanks to Jackson Hastings on Monday, you open up with a big rhyming intro. I'm on top of the world at the moment, absolutely loving it. What a result. Jackson Hastings for PM. I can't be any more unequivocal than that. I think a great move. Him at 7. Didn't we look better with him? How good was he at 7?
100%. That team looks so much better. He touched the ball 90 times, and it was like 30 more than almost any other player. So he's touching the ball, a third of the time more. So it's unbelievable.
Especially when it mattered as well. And, look, people always ask, like, who's the team that you dislike the most? Mine probably would have to be the Eels. And in small doses, I like a bit of Gutherino and stuff like that. But, geez, they carry on. And I remember, Dane Laurie absolutely belted him, dragged him back in the in goal. Not long after, Gutho's up in his face, wooing and doing all this sort of stuff. And that's interesting. We'll see how that kind of ages through the day. And Mitch Moses always rubs it in when they pump us by 40. So it felt fantastic to see that win on Monday. And look, hopefully a sign of things to come. I don't want to get too carried away. I had a look at the premiership market. West Tigers, $301. I just wonder whether, football might be coming home to Campbelltown, Leichhardt, Concord, etc. I think I'll be having a little Stewie Diver on that.
Please add in gamble responsibly there for $300.
Yeah, gamble responsibly. Let's not go nuts here, but just if you got a little $5 bonus bet or something sitting around, that's what I'll be investing mine on, I reckon. So, yeah.
Mate, you are up and about. I love that jersey. I love the old school. Hopefully we get to see that around Magic Round. You get to head around Magic Round with those old jerseys, because that's one of the features of Magic Round is all those old jerseys, and I love that one.
Tigers. It is a ripper. We had this one for the NRL Wellness Retreat, and I told them I'd find it a good home after they ordered it. So here it is, and I'm wearing it proudly today. So very excited.
Mate, I did my 3-2-1 this week, and it's funny you brought up like the skylarking and that, because it's in there. It's I'll get to it, but my 3-2-1. I want to point out some of the things that I loved about the weekend. I don't know if you saw it. For 1 point, I'm going to give Cameron McInnes his attempt at a tackle. I don't know if you saw his attempted tackle on Cameron Munster, where
saw it.
Not going to bag his attempting to make a tackle. It's just the way he did it was absolutely hilarious.
Can I say I actually had one of the best views probably of him attempting to make that tackle. I was sort of behind the posts about 7 or 8 rows back at Amy Park there. You see that footage of Benji Marshall against the Sharks in 2005, the front-on vision of him stepping everyone.
Yep.
And you've just got, I basically had that deal with Munster just going through him, doming both ways, and then he scored right in front of us. So I did see that tackle or attempted a tackle, and a worthy vote recipient there.
Yeah, the big Superman dive. I loved it. And the memes that came out of it afterwards was absolutely hilarious. Mate, the 2 points, that Easter Monday clash, I loved everything about that game, the crowd, the finish. We all thought
the result.
The result, yeah. We all thought it'd be a one-sided match, and Tigers come out, gave us a show, and just when you thought they were gonna give it up at the end, and Para were gonna take over, or it was gonna go to golden point, last second field goal from Hastings gets the win for the Tigers, and they celebrated appropriately, I thought.
Yes.
With all the pressure they've been under. See Madge just going up in the sheds, going off.
Yeah.
Mate, what were
Get around him.
What were you watching the game? Were you enjoying the game at home?
I'll be honest with you. I had to enjoy the game on a slight delay. I had the parents down from Canberra for the Easter weekend, and they like getting to the MCG to watch a little bit of Aussie rules where they can. We went to the Sharks Storm game the night before, but look, we were at the MCG when that game was on, and I managed to successfully avoid the result. I came home and caught up on KO, so I didn't experience it live. But if you listen back to last week's show, you'll see why I wasn't watching it live, because I think I said the Eels would easily cover the 20.5 line. Yes. That's how we were going at the time. So, look, egg on my face. I've got to put my hand up. I've got to be better than that as a supporter. But a great result. Don't let that get in the way of a great result. And look, as I said, we're back and we're making a big charge for September, October. So look out.
Mate, just had to bring that up.
That's fine.
3 points. I know you spoke about the players getting in each other's faces, but I love players showing a bit of character. Love it or hate it, I think it's great entertainment. That Lomax incident in Dragons, love it. Frizzell lassoing him, loved it even more. And then Big Clem approaching him after the game and giving him a gobful. That was the best. And we saw Sammy dance over Gutho a couple of weeks ago. Laurie on the weekend got in his face, and that was actually, I don't know if you remember the round 14 match last year when they played each other and Gutho stood over Laurie once he scored a try.
Yeah.
You see Laurie get up and sort of give him a finger, and you don't know what's said, but I'd love to think it's like that's for last year. I thought it was good. I love all that. I reckon we need more trash talk. I'm a huge fan of it. I know it rubs people the wrong way when players do it, but I love to see it and want to see more of it.
Yeah, well, I'll give you my 3-2-1 as well. I'll start with one vote, and you touched on it last week, but when you actually saw them in game mode, wow, those Chooks heritage jerseys with the collars on them, more of it, I think. And what a great jersey that was back in the day as well, that early 2000s, predominantly white Chooks jersey. Honourable mention to the Warriors jersey as well, although tough for them to do heritage these days because when they change it, because they've basically gone back to the original colour scheme they had. So now they've kind of, the heritage, they went to a black one again, which was still looked great. Yep. So good on them for that. The I'll probably give it to Gutho for the egg on his face after carrying on would be my 2 votes. I loved seeing that. I got really excited at the prospect of seeing that. And then my 3 votes has got to go to Justin, where's the camera, Pascoe, who was up in Darwin watching the game. And I don't know. Look, I was watching NRL 360 and actually broke down the footage that kind of got leaked of him watching the game at a pub in Darwin. Now, so the story goes, according to Kenty, that footage was leaked from someone to the Herald Sun. And instantly Kenty was poking holes in. He goes, all right, now who in Darwin is sitting in the pub watching a Tigers game for a start? And then secondly, recognises Justin Pascoe. Then there was 2 beers on the table that Pascoe was in front of. There was a stool out. And in fact, halfway through he's celebrating and carrying on, he kind of like looks over towards the camera as though he knows it's there. So just once again for pioneering another on-air opportunity for himself, which we've seen him do through a couple of docos as well. Great win, but Justin Pascoe's getting my 3 votes this week.
They should have brought out the telestrator where it's like, if you can see he runs around here, and draw the lines on there and the circles. And
Kenty did a version of it. They didn't quite do the Sterlo breakdown, but he did basically a forensics kind of breakdown, and he kind of highlighted the chair and the beers, and he did it quite well, Kenty. So Kenty can have an honourable mention as well.
Nice 3-2-1, mate. Love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Mate, we're going to, I don't know if you know, we're actually in a little bit of a mini footy festival from the 14th of April through to the 1st of May, a total of 18 days. We only have 4 days of no football because of the 4...
Too many.
Yeah, that's right. But because of the 2 5-day footy weekends.
Yep.
Today's one of the only days that you don't have football. We roll into Thursday, another 5 days for Anzac Day.
It's been a tough 2 days.
It has been. I'm missing it already, but just thought I'd point that out for everyone. We're in a little bit of a footy fest, so enjoy it. Now, for my roaster metrics, I've done some research this week. Now, what I've done is I've gone through and worked out what teams, how many points they've scored in the first half compared to the second half. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all the details because it is a bit too much data. What I will do is I'll put it all on the blog. So if you go to nrlroast.com, you'll find it there for all your team's info, points scored in the first half compared to the second half, breakdown by round as well.
Not sure if Uncle Roasty or Joe Blogs.
Yeah, Joe Blogs, that's a good one. Mate, the reason I bring it up is because I'm going to use it in some of the later games we're going to talk about. Get a bit of an understanding how you can use this to get a bit of an advantage in your multis, in your bets. What I will go through real quick is the first 2 rounds on average, teams are scoring more in the first half compared to the second half. It was roughly about 60-40, the percent. And since round 3, it's pretty much flipped, and teams are scoring more points in the second half. Now it's basically 40-60. So a 20% swing from round 1 to round 6, and that's been consistent over the last 3 rounds. So have a look in the second half markets that involve more tries, points. You get lower handicaps for the favourites against the non-favourites, and you may find some value in your multis. So
that's good data, Roasty. Good data, and I feel that for me seems to make sense. The new skew, like games should be finishing with more points in them. I reckon as defenses tire and stuff like that. So good intel. Good intel. Head to the blog for a bit more info.
100%. NRLroast.com. While you're at it, if you're listening to this, obviously you are. You're hearing our voices. Give us a rating on your podcast provider. Helps the show out, helps boost us up the ratings, and gets ears on more people. So
yeah, preferably 5 stars. To be honest, no mucking around with the lower stuff. Just get up the top there.
If you don't like us, don't go towards the rating systems, please.
Please don't. Yeah.
Mate, should we get on to our favourite segment?
Yeah, we should. Lock of the week. Roasty, you've built a state-of-the-art wheel. We spin it every week. What we like to get people to do, or we all like to do on the show, is we get behind the player listed in the number 13 jersey for that team, get around him as an anytime try scorer, get around a couple of the big boys. That's what Lock of the Week is all about. We've had a couple of locks that we've had come up a couple of times. Josh Curran's one that springs to mind. He's appeared on the wheel twice, not one of the weeks that we and then he scored one of the weeks that we didn't have him, which is fine. I mean, we've still inspired him to get over the stripe, but we'd love to sync one up. I got a good feeling about Jake Trbojevic signing it off with a big thumbs up. So I'm hoping that he pops up this week. Roasty, is there anyone that you have got your eye on for Lock of the Week?
Look, I'd love to see a Dragon get over. Cheer my own team, get them over.
Yep.
I wonder who's replaced it, because I know Dale Finucane's out. I'd love to see who's that in that Manly game. I think that's going to be a cracker game.
I'll research that while we get the wheel set up.
I think you like Jake Trbojevic. We all love Jake Trbojevic, but I think the opposite number in that Sharks jersey, I'd love to see them get over as well. So one of those two in that first game, which is Thursday night. So
Cameron McGuiness, your mate from earlier in the show, the Superman.
Superman, I'd love to see him get over. Do a big Superman dive to score. How good would that be?
Be very good,
mate. But let's spin it, eh? Let's
do it.
Get it started. It is spinning. It is going around. We have to have faith in the wheel. Get behind the wheel. And,
trust the wheel,
mate. It's Melbourne Storm's Josh King.
The King. Let's get around him. So the Storm. Of course, this week playing the Warriors. The classic Anzac Day game at AAMI Park, which we love. And Joshy King, anytime try scorer, is paying $8.50.
Love it.
$8.50. Now, don't mind that one little bit. So that also, what I love about this Lock of the Week is it keeps us waiting until the final game of the round. Something to look forward to. 7 p.m. Monday there, Australian Eastern Time. And the Storm, in their last 3 games, in fact, in the last 4 games, they've scored at least 30 points against the Warriors. In their last 3 games, they've scored at least 42 points. So a lot of points getting scored by the Storm. That opens it up for me for one of the big boppers, maybe, to get over the line.
100%. Love that.
Yeah.
We're going to be backing him all the way. So, Lock of the Week, Joshua King, get on him. Gamble responsibly, of course. Now, let's get into the games, Hammy. Sharks Manly, Thursday night. Sharks -6.5, over and under 38.5. Now, despite the loss last week, I thought the Sharks looked good against the Storm.
Agree.
Big losses in Dale Finucane and Braden Hamlin-Uele. They'll both miss out. Cam McInnes, like we spoke about, he comes in at lock. Manly led in 14 points in that second half against the Titans, and the Sharks ranked 3rd in second half points. Manly's a bit of a Cronulla's bunny. Cronulla winning percentage of just all time 26.5% against Manly. They've won just 3 of their last 21 matches between them. So, what do you think here, mate?
I'm with you. I think Sharks lost, but looked good enough. I think they're going to be better than Manly. 6.5. I think they cover that, the Sharkies. Last 6 games in Sydney, for the Sharks have gone under 40.5 points. 70% chance of rain on Thursday as well. I think this one's a tight one. Not heaps and heaps of points. I think the unders might be a good play here. And then Big Hank Scorpio. Brad Parker's got his work cut out for him opposite Talakai. He is an enormous man. Seeing that bloke in the flesh on the weekend, wow. He reminded me, my favourite player growing up was Taniela Tuaki. Yep. Just the way he used to just shot put blokes off and just bosh through them. Very similar to him, Talakai. $2.63 anytime try scorer. That took my fancy as well.
I don't like ever playing against the numbers. I'm a huge stats man, huge numbers man. I don't like playing against them, but I will here. I'm with you. Yeah, Cronulla -6.5. I did say a few weeks back when Olaquadu scored his first try that last year, when he scored his first try for that year, he went on and scored in 6 of his next 10 games. He in this year he scored his first one. He scored 3 tries in the last 2. So don't say that we don't give you some good intel here. Hopefully you got on and have scored some money from Olaquadu. I like him as well. I think he'll score again this week. So I'm going, Sharks -6.5, and my try scorer is Olaquadu.
Yep, love it. Very good.
The Friday night game, start of the Friday night game, Broncos v Bulldogs at 6 o'clock. Broncos -4.5. No, they've gone out to -6.5. They were -4.5. Over and under at 38.5.
Yeah.
I don't like backing unders, but if there was an unders game, this is it, I thought.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Dogs' last 6 games at Suncorp have gone the unders. I think this one might go the unders as well. Panthers dealt with the Broncos last week, but the Dogs are now at the bottom of the ladder. I still like a couple of the ingredients there for the Broncos. I think they'll win this game. Still happy to take him head to head. And then Herbie, fully loaded, is my anytime try scorer. He scored in 3 of the last 4 for the Broncos when they've started favourites. So he likes being a front runner. He's a great player. We spoke a couple of weeks ago about how many centres are scoring tries at the moment as well. Yep. So those are my plays here.
I think the Bulldogs have let in some big scores over the last 3 weeks, but that was against top 4 sides. I think they've been respectable in other weeks. Simbin last week cost them majorly. They had 3 tries scored on them in that 10-minute period. So I think this one's going to be a little bit close. I think Tamari Martin at fullback is going to be terrorised. He's going to be exciting, but he's going to be terrorised by Matt Burton's bomb. I think he's going to kick it to him all night.
That's the best bomb in the game.
100%. I really can't split them, so I like the try bet. Either team under 8.5 at 210.
Yep.
If I was to take a line bet, I'd probably take the Broncos. I liked them at 4.5, 6.5, a bit iffy, but I'll take either team under 8. Broncos have let in a try to a half in 3 of their last 4 games, so I'm going to back my boy Matty Burton to get over at $4.
Yeah, that's a nice bet. He's due for one, Burton, because he scored obviously playing the centres last year, but he's a good player. Maybe a team like the Broncos. I like your stat there, not defending the halves that well. Maybe he gets over this week.
100%. Looking forward to it. Now we have a Queensland Derby for the second Friday night game. Cowboys v Titans. Cowboys -1.5. Over and under at 41.5. Impressed by the impressed by the Cowboys last week.
Yes.
They scored 18 unanswered points against the Raiders. That's respectable.
Yep. Agree. In Canberra as well. I think the Cowboys win this game. I liked what I saw last week. Titans, I don't like what I see from them really at all at the moment. I think the Cowboys can win 1-12. That'll get you $3.10, I believe. Yep. And Valentine Holmes, he hasn't let me down. Last couple of times I've gone to him as an anytime try scorer. I got one last week as well. $2.50 you're getting for him to score at any stage in this one. So should be a close game. But yeah, I think the Cowboys can win that one on Friday night. And that'll be a nice another classic case where I think we said this about the Cowboys game last week. 2 very evenly matched teams, so this should be a ripper. Yep. Maybe again we look at that bet that we like, the try bet. This could be a nice close one.
Oh yeah, I just want to shout out to Instagram user NQ Cowboys Zone, so North Queensland Cowboys Zone. This is the Cowboys' best defensive start to a season in their history. So over the first 6 games, they've conceded just 89 points, 14.83 per game, second in the league. I think this is going to be a banger. I think, even despite that stat, I think there could be a few tries here. These 2 teams love to go at it. They've averaged 46 in their last 46 points in each game of the last 4 between these two. So I think, yeah, look, I can't split them. I like AJ Brimson. He scored 5 tries in his last 3 against the Cowboys, 7 from his last 6 in total. I think I'm going to take the Titans with the start. I think I can see a little bit of an upset here. But yeah, like either team under, it's going to be very close. But if I was to pick a team with a start, I'll take the Titans. Fafita has scored in 4 straight against the Cowboys as well, and he's scored in his last 2 NRL games. So I'm going to take him as a try scorer as well. So Titans plus 1.5, Fafita, and Brimson to score a try.
Love it. Very good.
Mate, Saturday's game, Tigers,
Yeah.
Rabbits. Rabbits minus 11.5. You like that?
Pretty obvious here. Tigers 13 plus, I would have thought. So now, last week, we spoke about this on Mosdem. I said that the Eels would cover the line, that we'd get pumped, and we won. So I think I might actually lock in my tip along a similar vein, just try and inspire the boys again. I think it's 11.5, that line, so the Bunnies cover that. Anytime try scorers, though, I think our wingers, they were great. I mean, Nofaluma got 2 tries last week, 2 very important tries. $2.40 to score at any stage in this game, or $12 to be the first try scorer.
Isn't it? That's great value just to score 1 try.
That's what you're correct, for a class player. And yeah, that I also thought maybe for a little shy at the stumps, the old first try score, $12 for him too.
Yep.
I think there's some points in this game, to be honest.
Yep.
Over 40, I thought over 40.5 points is where my head was at for this one. Not basing it off too much, but I know that the Bunnies have pulled out quite a few points in their last couple of weeks as well. 36 a couple of weeks ago, and a lot of exciting attacking players. So yeah, I think there should be some points in it, hopefully. And look, hopefully the Tigers win. But I think that the Bunnies probably, they're a top 4 side, probably a little bit too strong.
Yeah, I'm a little bit wary when a team wins that like huge match like that, like the Tigers did on, felt like a grand, semi-final or a huge match. How they back it up the following week. So I'm a bit wary of just jumping on them, or even with the start, because you just want to see them back up that performance. You want to see them do it again and consistently, and that's what they've spoken about straight away. They need to do that consistently. So, in regards to the result, I'm going to keep my powder dry for this one. Campbell Graham, 2 doubles in his last 3 against the Tigers, and Cameron Murray has scored in his last two matches. So I like him to get over at 550. The old lock.
Campbell Graham, Cam Murray. Well, he was our lock of the week last week.
He was, yes.
Got close a few times.
He did. But I like, Campbell Graham as well as try scorers. I just want to mention, because Alex Twal hasn't scored a try yet again, but I want to throw up a little theory I've got on the date that he's going to score his try. Now,
okay,
if you have a value for the alphabet, so A equals 1, B equals 2, and so on, Alex Twal, if you add it all up, equals 98. Now, he's currently on 95 appearances. His 98th appearance is against Manly on May 7th. And I think that is the day that we're going to see Alex Twal score his first try.
Bit of numerology there, Roasty. I don't mind that. So we're about a month away from his first try.
Yep, couple of weeks, 3 weeks away. But that's when I'm backing him. If everyone, because I get asked a lot of the time, we used to post almost every time, giving him strength to try and get him his first try. This is when it's going to happen. It's going to be a celebration. We're going to storm the field if we're there. But yeah,
tell the grandkids about it. Where were you 100%. When he got over?
Buddy's 1,000th. Throw that out. It's Alex Twal's first. That's what the big celebration will be. So keep an eye out for that one, mate. Now moving on to the second Saturday game, Knights Eels. Eels minus 7.5. Yep. 7.5, and over and under 39.5. Are the Knights a bit of a rabble at the moment?
Knights are a massive rabble. Still the best back team to win the Spoon at Sportsbet. $14 you're getting for the Knights. They started the season so well. Yep. I had some high hopes. Thought they were going to be pretty good. But it's been an absolute stinkfest since then. And then, on the market, Kalen Ponga played really well last week, but maybe that's been a bit of a distraction at large for the team. I don't know. I think, what do you reckon?
Yeah, 100%. Look, we sort of excused them after the Panthers loss with when Barnett was sent, but But since then, they didn't score a point against the Sharks. Only one try against the Sea Eagles at home, and a loss to the Dragons, who hadn't won a game since round one, and I didn't even tip them. So that's it. How bad I thought the Dragons were going. I think they're in a bit of trouble. There's too many distractions off field, and as much as they say it's not, they're working through it. It's not a distraction. It is. You can see it's happening on the field. So I think it's even Mitchell Barnett's now signed with the Warriors is I just think there's too many things off, and I'm just a bit off them at the moment. I think the Eels after that loss they're going to bounce back big. They'll get
same. Agree.
You've got to remember that game against the Tigers, they lost RCG with about 20 minutes to go. Hopefully he's back this week. He has a bit of an ankle injury, so keep an eye on that. But they get Junior Paulo back. He missed that game as well, so they're missing some things up front there last week. They're going to get that back. It's a huge boost. Like I said, I'm hesitant to take the Knights with all the shit. Eels to cover here, the 7.5. Alex Twal, he scored 4 tries in his last 2 against the Eels. And Will Penasini, he was a try scorer in this match last year where he was playing in the centres. He moves back there. There's my 2 try scorers as well.
Very nice. Very well put. I think the Eels bounce back as well, Roasty. I think they cover that 7.5 line. I think they'll be pretty pissed off after losing to the Tigers, to be honest. Try scorers for me. Papali'i got one last week. Always like getting around him. $3.75 you're getting for him as well. I think against a team like the Knights, why not get a back rower in there? I think he can score a try. And then negotiation Ponga looked good last week and the week before. I think he might have scored a couple of weeks in a row. So $3.20 you're getting for negotiation Ponga, who's got himself in the shop window there as he goes clicking his way to the Dolphins. So where do you reckon he'll end up out of interest?
Look, I think if he was to leave the Knights, it'd have to be the Dolphins. I think they're just, if you're leaving, I don't know if he's leaving for money or not, but the money would just be too good to go there. I think they're talking like 1.3 or 1.2 or something, whatever. Like depending on whether they get Munster, who knows? But I would, I think he'll go to the Dolphins. I think the longer this drama goes on at the Knights, the better chance they have of getting him. I think sort of Wayne Bennett's almost like sitting back, just looking at this going, this is playing into his hands so well.
Yeah, I mean, you can't begrudge him for trying to get a bit more cash, but you don't exactly want your captain, I don't know, the captain of your club, meeting other teams and, you put a lot of, I don't know. If he stays, is there a bit of a sour taste in the mouth there? Maybe. I can't, as I say, can't begrudge him. It's a different game these days. It's not 30 years ago where, you're loyal to exclusively one club for your whole career. But I think you'll go to the Dolphins as well. Yeah, is my tip. But that's just a hunch.
Interesting to see like who they sign at the end of this year. Like where are they gonna, what players are they gonna get? Because they've only got a handful of signings at the moment. I know they're going to get a side no matter what, but it's just like, what is that side going to be made up of that first year? Is it just going to be a year of waiting and then they maybe look at signing some big names the following year? But it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see him in the comp anyway.
Absolutely. Might get the Tigers off the bottom of the ladder, which would be good. So,
mate, Panthers Raiders. Panthers minus 8.5 and the over under 41.5. Just make sure I got that right. 8.5. Yeah. Panthers looking at 21 straight wins at Panther Stadium. It would be the best in the modern era, second only to the Dragons of the late 50s that went on to win 56 straight, I think, at Cogra. 4th straight week, Cleary's had the privilege of using the same 17, which is pretty good in this day and age. Who do you think is going to stop the Panthers this year?
Well, you know what? We're having a bit of a chat before, and I hope I'm not mowing your lawn with this, but the only team I can see mixing it with them at this stage, apart from Origin period, is the Storm. And they're going to play each other in Magic Round, which is an absolute blockbuster. That is amazing that they're going to play at Magic Round in a nice big full stadium. That will be one hell of a game. They're probably the only team I can see going with them at the moment. There's such a gap between the Storm and the Panthers and the rest, I reckon. We saw that on the weekend with the Storm against the Sharks. So I reckon that's the game, really. The only other team I could probably see pushing him is the Tigers, obviously based on how they went the other day as well. So look out for Jackson Hastings.
they were they broke the streak of them last year. It was during Origin. They were missing a ton
Missing
of
about
players.
12 players or something.
But they did play them and beat them. I'm just trying to think.
Yeah.
They play them. It's a Saturday night game too. Storm v Panthers and Magic round. So
Yeah, nice.
massive game. I said the same. Yeah, I had it written down that the only thing I thought stopping them was Origin. But then I saw that game and I was like, nah, that's, if anything, it's that one. But if they get over that, it's like, wow, who's going to stop them? I don't know. But
absolutely, the Raiders won't be stopping them. I'll tell you that much.
No, I don't think so.
The line's big though. Is my only thing there. 18.5 points. I always get a bit scared when the line's that big. Definitely 13 plus because you get your $1.50 at this stage. And I noticed that both back rowers scored for the Cowboys last week against the Raiders and a centre. But both back rowers, that tells me that Key Cow is a special to score at any stage at $2.50. And I always like Isaac Targo. I think he's going to score as well. So I've gone 13 plus Targo and Key Cow. They'll get you $7.50, same game multi.
Nice one. This I want to bring up the stats that I spoke about earlier, which is on the blog, that the Raiders score on average in the second half 5.67 points. They're one of the lowest teams scoring points in the second half. The Panthers average 16, which is second best.
There you go.
Also
second half.
let in about 13 points in the second half. So there is a market where you can get on if you that 8.5 scares you a bit. We've just provided you the stats and said that teams score a lot more points in the second half now. Panthers score a lot of points in the second half. Raiders let in a lot of points in the second half. Panthers minus 9.5 against just in the second half is paying $1.90.
Yep.
So that's a good one. If you're scared of the 8.5 to throw in, or just take, if you just want to take it or throw it in a multi to give you a little bit more value. I love that. I think the Panthers score more than 10 points over the Raiders in that second half. So the other one, Raiders have also let in opposition fullbacks to score a try in the last 3 matches. So I'm going to throw in Edwards. So I like that minus 9.5 in the second half with Edwards. He's paying $2.88 alone. That gives you a multi of $3.75.
Beautiful. Well played.
Mate, Anzac Day. Dragons v Roosters. Roosters minus.
Well, do you want to take the new ball here? There's your boys. They've had a win. So
yeah, and I didn't even back them. I don't even know if I should.
That's okay, mate.
I know you spoke about it. Should I back against my team each week to ensure a positive result?
Just to inspire them.
They've won their last set. The Roosters have won their last 7 against the Dragons. The Anzac Day clash is always a tough battle. Look, I'm betting a little bit with my heart here, but I like the Dragons at 11.5. I think it's going to be a closer match than what people think. You look at the Roosters against the Warriors last week. It was, I think, 8 points in the end. So, look, I am a biased Dragons fan. You do know that, but I think I like them at 11.5. I think they come within the Roosters and put up a fight. So, Satili Tupanua as well has scored in his last 3 matches against us. $3.10, I'll take that. And Zachy Lomax, 4 tries in his last 6 appearances against the Roosters. $3.50. Thank you.
Yeah, nice. I always like Tupanua as a try scorer. It just seems to find its way over so often. I'm actually with you here. I think Dragons with the 11.5 start. They could even possibly provide an upset here, I reckon. I don't want to get you too excited, Roasty, but I just think what we saw last week, they had a good win against the Knights. The Chooks limped over the line against the Warriors. Didn't really put them away. So I think it should be close. So the 11.5 starter, I really do like, with an outside chance maybe of an upset. I think the Dragons are $4 at the moment.
Yep.
And then you've got that new winger who played last week, Fagai.
Yep.
Fagai, yeah, he scored 2 last week. He's $2.80 to score at any stage in this game. So I don't mind him as an anytime try scorer.
Like it.
Yeah.
I always look forward to the 4 o'clock Anzac Day game. One of my favourites of the year.
Yep.
Storm v Warriors. Storm minus 8.5, over under 41.5. This is the last match to round out round 7. I remember that when these games between these two were really tight, but the Storm have won the last 11 against the Warriors and by significant margins. Do you see this going any different, mate?
No, the Storm are weeks like $1.10 in heads-to-head betting. The line again is big at 18.5 points. maybe Anzac Day will inspire the Warriors. I mean, the Warriors dug in a little bit last week against the Chooks, another decent team. So maybe Storm 13 plus, I didn't mind at $1.53. Pap just keeps scoring. I mean, he's very short now at $1.57, but could be one for your same game multis. And then Olam got a double last week, starting to look good. I always like Olam, and $2.25 you're getting for him. So I didn't mind a little same game here. Storm 13 plus, Pap and Olam, you're looking at about $5.40.
I think Pap must listen to the show because a few weeks ago when I said fullbacks weren't scoring many tries, they'd been decreased in this year compared to last year, and now he's gone on and scored in almost every single match since. So
yeah,
he took it personally. But yeah,
he did.
Storm, had without the Bromwich brothers that they come back in. I think the Storm do cover. I'm a bit like you. I think they cover, but I do like just the 13 plus at $1.50. Olam scored in his last two against the Warriors, so love that bet as well by you. He's also scored in his last two games. So yeah, anytime 250. I actually like him to score a double. I'm going to take him to score a double at 750.
Olam.
I'm very, very confident.
Beautiful. Well, it should be a good ripping weekend of footy. They'll have the two games on the Anzac Day as well. Trifecta wise, I know we don't have the three games on the Saturday, but I've just gone my three most confident try scorers across the weekend for my trifecta. So I've whacked Val Holmes in there to get one against the Titans, $2.50. Kikau at $2.50 against the Raiders. I spoke about the fact that they're letting in a stack of tries against back rowers at the moment. So I've got Kikau in there and then Olam, $2.25. So those three together get you $14. Nice. It's a multi.
I've gone a little bit outlandish. I'll take Fafita, Dave Fafita in the Titans Cowboys. He's starting to find a bit of form. Being criticised a bit. I like him at $2.60. Cam Murray, the lock. I'll jump on him at $5.50. And then Dylan Edwards for the Panthers. I think he gets over at $2.88, and that total is 41.18.
Oof, massive. We love that.
Love it
for Anzac Day. That's a good little Anzac Day right there.
100%.
$40.
Get into it.
Yeah, bit of two up.
I'm trying to make sure I got that right. That seems a bit. No, that's right. Yeah, 41.18. Yep.
Quick math. Very good.
Quick maths, mate. That's going to wrap us up. What do you got on for the rest of the week, mate?
Rest of the week for me.
You on a bit of a break?
No, I wish. I did have a little bit of a break with the folks down, but they've now gone. I'm actually going to the boxing tonight. I'm off to Zarafa versus Hardman at the Melbourne Convention Centre. Hardman is the favourite there, if you can believe. That's surprising. I thought probably Zarafa, just given the fact that he's probably a bit of a bigger name, might have gone in the favourite. But I'm off there with a couple of guys from work. We've got a couple of ripping videos coming up with sports bet around the election as well. So just kind of polishing them off, which we shot last week. And then getting ready for another big Tigers win on the weekend, mate. That's about it for me. What's happening up in Parks?
Oh, mate, everything. I've got Elvis weekend this weekend. So
that this weekend?
It is this weekend. Probably the biggest weekend in Parks. For anyone that hasn't heard about the Elvis Festival, it is as bad as what you think. Basically, people come from everywhere, all over the globe, to come to this little tiny country town with a big dish in someone's sheep paddock and celebrate the life of Elvis. Why Elvis? It was about 30 years ago. They just had these group of fanatics just started having a dinner, and it grew from about 10 people having dinner to probably one of the biggest festivals in country New South Wales. So it is massive. We get about 100,000 people come through the town over the weekend. So it's pretty big, and I don't know whether it'd probably be a little bit down this year because it's around the same time as a country music festival in Tamworth. So a lot of people, what used to happen is they'd have the Elvis Festival, and then the next weekend would be the country music festival. So they just roll into the two. And we used to have it in January. I love having it in April because it's a lot cooler weather. When you get dressed up in these Elvis suits, which you sweat your ass off in January, April is a little bit more forgiving. So
not as much chafe in April there, which is good.
But in January, that when it is a little bit warmer, the beers do go down a lot better. So it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully, I might share a couple of photos of me in the Elvis suit on Saturday. But that's it. And then watching all the footy, obviously.
In your Elvis suit. Well, that sounds like a pretty good one.
I
Pretty
might
good
set a
weekend.
challenge. I might get in the Elvis suit on Thursday and see if I can stay in it until Monday. There used to be a thing with the rugby club. They'd start on Friday and you weren't allowed out of your suit until Sunday. The only time you were allowed out of your suit was they'd do a pub crawl almost every day, but they'd go to a pub which had a pool, and that was the only time you were allowed out of your suit was to swim in your Reg Grundies just to cool down. So,
Oh, goodness me.
Mate, come Sunday, there was some smelly players.
Looking forward to seeing a couple of photos of you dressed up as the King, cheering on Josh King to get a try as the lock of the week on Monday night.
How about that? If that's not an omen,
watching it on your two TVs.
Yeah, sitting back, mate.
Yeah.
Josh King. I'll be dressed as the King, watching Josh King score a try. That is perfect. Love it. What a way to sign
Kingception.
off.
Yep.
Thanks, Hammy. Appreciate your time. Love it.
Gamble responsibly.
All the best for this weekend on the punt, mate. And to all the listeners, thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll talk again next week. Cheers.
See you, mate. Bye-bye.